Alright guys, so if you're wondering what the heck is going on, and you're live on the stream, and the stream just went dead during pre-stream, and now it's come back, and you're wondering what's going on, I think there may be intermittent internet issues in my area today. And the reason I say that is because this morning I saw I had a bunch of missed calls from Comcast on my phone, but I was asleep. So I don't know what they were about. I get the feeling they may be doing service in my area, and therefore, sadly, my internet may go down during the stream. So I do apologize if you guys are here watching and it just dies out. What I'm going to have to do is, recognize that, obviously, and then, try to get the stream back up and running. Now, what sucks today is that I'm doing multiplayer. All right, and doing multiplayer, it means that if the internet does go down again like that, sadly I may lose a match, which really sucks. I obviously don't want to be losing matches because my connection drops. However, of all the games that I could possibly be playing today that I don't care about losing ranking, it's Ultra Street Fighter 2. This is a game that, for all intents and purposes, by the end of this month will be completely retired and no one's going to be playing it ever again unless all they own is a Switch. Right? There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason to care about ranking points or anything like that. So if, in essence, as I'm playing Ultra Street Fighter 2 today, if the stream drops a bunch of times and I have to reset everything, I'm not really too concerned. I just hope that you guys are understanding, it sucks, but it is what it is. As you saw, it came back within a minute. Within 1 minute, my internet was back here. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but it definitely will be annoying to those who are watching the live stream if it drops, comes back, drops, comes back. So I guess we'll see. Let's see exactly how it goes today, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys. All right. So that being said, guys, welcome to the stream. Apologies, it already dropped, but I'm excited for Ultra Street Fighter 2 today. Let's go back through the schedule since I was explaining the schedule to you guys for the next few days, and the stream crashed. All right. So let's talk. Today, Ultra Street Fighter 2 for about 3 to 4 hours, depending on how the internet holds, I guess. And it's going to be interactive, where you guys are going to be able to pick what character I play in each match. You're going to be able to say in the stream chat, oh, I want this character or this character, and I'll make a decision based on that, okay? That's number one. Number two, tonight will be PUBG. All right, a fun 2-hour PUBG interactive game session. Hope that you guys will be here for that. People seem to love the interactivity during PUBG, which is why I keep playing it. All right. Tomorrow, I will be off. I will not be live streaming tomorrow at all. So Saturday's my day off to run errands and spend some time with my girl. I'll be back on Sunday with the continuation of God of War. Now, I'm near the end of God of War. If you guys have been following along, with my playthrough of God of War, all right, what you're seeing is that I am basically done with almost every major piece of content. I did Muspelheim, right? I did all the Valkyries, including the final one, Sigrun, who was very difficult. I did a lot of stuff in the game, and I spent quite a lot of time in the game. But at this point, I'm now overpowered. I think it's time to kind of finish up the story. All right. So that being said, guys, excuse me. That being said, this Sunday, we'll see what happens. I'm in the final major side mission of the game, which I'm doing for the Dwarf Brothers, the Dwarf Brother blacksmiths, and we'll see how it goes. If, if I finish that up and I jump into the main story and I beat the game, I beat the game. I may be that close to the end. Some people were actually saying, Phil, you're actually very close to the end. That if I focused only on story, I may be able to beat the game quickly. So this coming Sunday may actually be the conclusion of my God of War playthrough. And of course, I am going to review the game if I have time. So there you go, okay? Monday, I'm going back to Bloodborne. Now, here's the thing. You guys may not realize this if you haven't been following along. I finished the Old Hunters DLC. And I may make a lot of people's jaws drop. What? Phil finished the Old Hunters DLC? Yeah. I beat Ludwig, got my revenge. I beat all the bosses. Lawrence, who everyone says is hard, I beat on the second try. And even Orphan. I mean, Orphan wasn't... Let me put it this way. Was he easy? Of course not. but he wasn't incredibly overpoweringly, overbearingly hard. He didn't cause me to really rage. I just played it for a while, learned his pattern, and by the time that I beat him, I completely demolished him. Completely and utterly demolished him when I was playing him in the final fight. Okay? I mean, it was pretty nuts. It was absolutely nuts. The final fight when I backstabbed him 4 fucking times, okay? It was very, very cool. So that being said, guys, by the way, the page is live for me. I'll tell everyone. I'm still streaming. And the page, here we go. So I don't know what you guys are saying in regards to the page dropping or whatever. That sounds like it's on Twitch's end, but my stream is still going strong here. Apparently lots of technical difficulties today. Not only is my internet going down, apparently the Twitch pages are dying and people are saying they can't see the Twitch pages. Really weird. All right. Really weird. All right, anyway. So, yes, Sunday, maybe the conclusion of God of War. Monday, as I was saying, I finished up the Old Hunters DLC, and I'm curious now what's going to happen on Monday. Because here's the thing. I'm debating on Monday starting the Chalice Dungeons. Because really the only thing left to do in the game is the final 2 bosses. But if I kill the final 2 bosses, that's it. The game ends. You can't do the Chalice Dungeons. So, what I'm thinking is Chalice Dungeons to start, okay, and see how people think, what they think. Some people have suggested I do the Chalice Dungeons co-op, which I don't know how I feel about that. Not that I don't mind the help and getting through the Chalice Dungeons more quickly, because I do feel that they are annoying as hell. But at the same time, I don't know if I could, how do you know who to trust? I get someone in my game, next thing you know, they're a troll and they don't want to help or whatever, and now you got to deal with kicking them or whatever. Pretty annoying, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to do. I mean, I definitely want to do a session of the Chalice Dungeons regardless, to remember what they are. But at the same time, I don't know how much people would like to see them. How much. See, here's the thing. Have I beaten all the Chalice Dungeons bosses in my first run of the game? Nope. Did I ever get to the Queen of Yharnam? Nope. So there are bosses in Bloodborne I've never seen and have never fought. The problem is, there's so much grinding garbage content between getting to them. And that's what sucks. You got grind, grind, grind. As stupid as it sounds, okay? It's really dumb. So, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I guess we're going to see on Monday. We're going to see how the Chalice Dungeons go. And if people like it, I'll keep doing it. And if people don't like it, then that'll be it. That'll be the final session of Bloodborne on Monday. All right. Monday night should be probably more PUBG. Tuesday is going to be directly dependent on what happens with God of War and Bloodborne. If I finish them up, then maybe Tuesday will be the premiere of Dead Space 2. Because I do want to do another run through Dead Space 2, a game that I really enjoyed playing back in the day. It's actually one of my favorite survival horror playthroughs that I've ever done for the internet. But that was before the era that I was doing direct capture and live streaming. So my original Dead Space 2 playthrough was good, but the quality ain't so great. And, I didn't get to live stream it and interact with you guys when I played it the first time. And it's a cool throwback because, like I said, this is my 10th year anniversary of being a content creator for the internet. And to be able to go back and replay one of the games that I really enjoyed and always wanted to go back to should be a lot of fun. Okay? So I'm thinking this week will be Dead Space 2 balanced with the remnants or the ending of God of War and Bloodborne, dependent on how those go and seeing how much more people want to see of those. All right. Now, Yakuza 6 will also continue this coming week, so there will be a couple sessions of that. More than likely, yes, there will be more Street Fighter. So there's going to be still the usual stuff going on. All right. Now, the other thing, next week, okay, is going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to be taking a day off because in the middle of May, I'm going to be taking some time off. All right. It's actually going to be starting, I believe, again, this isn't 100%, but I believe it's going to be around either Tuesday or Wednesday, May 14th or 15th. I'm going to start taking some time off, and it's going to be around 2 to 3 days off from streaming. Okay. What am I doing? I'm going to be spending time with Kat. We're going to be doing stuff that we wanted to do ever since she moved in 2.5 months ago, but haven't had a chance, including cleaning up the house, maybe redecorating the house a little bit. Our backyard, we have some ideas of things we want to do with it that right now it's completely empty, and what we want to do is maybe get some stuff out there, some nice bird feeders or, other stuff, because we do have one bird feeder right now that's worked out incredibly well. We've got birds coming by. We got a squirrel that jumps on it and does acrobatics and stuff, but I'm thinking about potentially doing some other stuff back there too. That's relatively, not that that's going to cost a lot of money, but since I've lived here, I've never done anything with my backyard. And I'm like, man, I really like to have a nice backyard area to do stuff in. I'd like to clean the house out, spring cleaning wise, and, figure out what we want to do. Because now, we have the opportunity to do so. Okay, so there will be a couple days, at least, in the middle of May that I'm not going to be live streaming. But because of that, I'm not going to be taking a day off next weekend. Usually, it's every Saturday. So not this weekend coming up, but next weekend, I'm not going to have a day off, which means I'm going to be streaming consistently. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day there, I'm going to be live streaming. All right? So we're going to have a big string of days. Maybe I'll even wrap up Dead Space 2, We'll see. Maybe I'll be able to finish up everything before I take this time away. All right? Now, my intention here, is not only to spend some time with my girlfriend and do some stuff around the house that I've wanted to do for a while, but also to refresh myself, because when I come back, I'm going to be starting to play State of Decay 2 on the 18th. I've decided I am going to spend a few extra bucks to get State of Decay 2's more like collector's edition or whatever, and play it a little bit early. All right, so that way I can start State of Decay 2, new game, play it, over that weekend, and get a big chunk into it before other releases start the next week. All right. So I guess we'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's play it by ear. But that's kind of the rough schedule. Ultra Street Fighter 2 PUBG today. I'm off tomorrow. God of War will be concluding soon. Bloodborne will be continuing. And if people like the Chalice Dungeons, I'll keep going. If not, then I will probably wrap that up. Dead Space 2 this coming week. Probably more PUBG. Definitely more Yakuza 6. Probably another session of Street Fighter coming up. And more streaming than usual because I'll be taking time off around the middle of May. All right. There you go. That's what you can expect, guys. All right. So, got that out of the way. Sorry it took so long, but with the internet blip and everything going on there, had to, get through it. So, all right. Now, guys, let us do some plugs, the usual plugs segment. And then we'll do some shout-outs for people who have contributed during this stream already. Cheers, subs, and tips-wise. And then we will get started with Street Fighter. Sound good? All right, guys. So, ladies and gents, thank you guys very much for your support. As I said, this last week in particular on streams, you guys have been absolutely great to me. I am very appreciative of that. It's great because I had a really slow week of streaming. And then, boom, you guys came back in droves to watch and to contribute. It was really fun, all right? In addition, YouTube over the course of April was pretty good. Actually, this is funny. You guys will like this, all right? So April was a good month on YouTube. Why was it a good month on YouTube? Because God of War. A lot of people came out to watch my God of War playthrough and did not watch the streams, but they watched on YouTube. So actually, my YouTube views went up by roughly, I'd say, 10 to 15% in the month of April. So that was an increase. That's good, right? Guess what? I made less money in April than I did the month before. I had an increase in views by 10 or more percent, but yet I made less money. And you might say, well, how is that possible? It's very simple, guys. YouTube, once again, didn't do their job. They couldn't sell ad space. So because there was a lack of ads on YouTube, even though you guys watched more, all right, you watched more, I made less money. So isn't that great? Isn't that just a fun experience? Working your butt off, being entertaining, playing hot new games. People are loving it, watching the playthroughs, and make less money. Because the people who work at YouTube are terrible at what they do. That's why I like Twitch better. Because on Twitch, guess what? As long as I'm entertaining, as long as I'm engaging, you guys will show up. You contribute via crowdfunding, which is very different than advertisement revenue. And I earn what I deserve. Versus over on YouTube, work your butt off, you may make nothing because they didn't do their job this month. Okay? So, there you go. Pretty silly. And I hate that situation. I really do. But at the same time, I'm very happy to be diversified and not be solely reliant on YouTube income anymore. Because if I were, holy crap, dudes, would I be very, very, very worried right now. Okay? But the good news is I'm not. All right? By the way, I really, really wish that people in the stream chat would stop spreading misinformation. Now you got people saying I'm taking 5 days off. I mean, at this point, if people keep spreading misinformation, you're going to get banned because you're doing it on purpose. I literally just moments ago said I'm only taking 2 to 3 days away from streaming, and now you got people saying I'm taking 5 days off. Guess what? I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have people spreading misinformation, so you better wise up. All right, I'm just laying down the law. You better wise up because I'm not going to put up with your bullshit anymore. You know, I don't know. How quickly can you be literally minutes after just spinning it completely false information to try to fool people? Enough of this shit. All right, I'm not going to have it. That's just as bad as, you know, when I first announced that I'd be taking time off this month for a few days. He's going on an expensive vacation. He's paying for a hotel. He's probably flying somewhere. What? Now, taking time away from streaming to do stuff around the house and spend time with my girlfriend does not equate to going on an expensive vacation. But this is what people do. They're assholes, okay? All right, anyway, guys. Getting back on track. Thank you guys for being awesome to me recently in regards to the live streams and coming back in droves after the God of War stuff. I know a lot of people stayed away when I was playing God of War launch week, but you guys came back this week, and that was really awesome of you, all right? Now, if you would like to go above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer or a video watcher, if you'd like to directly support my effort to keep doing this full-time and putting out free entertaining streams and on-demand videos on YouTube for you on a daily basis, just like I've done for the past 10 years. That's right, 10 straight years, I've been a fun gaming content creator for you guys. You want to see it continue? There's a few ways you can contribute that outside of just, you know, watching the videos and streams. And number one is Patreon. Check it out over at patreon.com/darksidephil, where your pledges to my Patreon campaign allow me to afford the cost of doing business. For example, the cost of games, the cost of electricity, the cost of equipment. I just recently had a hard drive failure, and I had to buy a new replacement hard drive for it out of the blue, $100 out of my pocket, right? So it's your contributions via Patreon that help with those kind of costs. Now, the cool thing is what you contribute to my Patreon earns you stuff that you get back. It's not just, oh, you know, I'm helping fill out, although obviously that's the intent behind it, but you also earn stuff called perks. Some perks that you can earn. Number one, premium forum access to my kingofhate.com website. Number two, the ability to nominate and vote on games for special events. In fact, starting this weekend, people who pledged in April will be nominating and voting on games for an upcoming Patron's Choice playthrough. Pretty cool. You can get shout-outs in my YouTube videos. Thank you, shout-outs. Okay? Or you get your questions answered on a bi-monthly Ask the King Q&A show that I do, or even get a private Q&A video made. So tons of stuff that you guys can get as rewards for pledging to my Patreon. Give it a look over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Thanks to those who have contributed in the past, and thanks to those who give it a look and consider contributing in the future. Number two, there's my Teespring shop. This is my merchandise shop where I sell t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, and mugs. All great quality stuff. I can personally attest because I wear the stuff all the time. I own several of the shirts. This past week, I wore the I'm Pressing Button shirt for my last Street Fighter stream, and then I wore the I Hate Skeleton shirt during my final Old Hunters run yesterday. So I love the quality of the Teespring stuff. I purposely select the higher quality t-shirts. I make less money doing that as a less profit margin, but hey, you know, it's pretty awesome that people enjoy a higher quality shirt. That's what, if it's the shirt I would wear, that's the one I want you to get. I don't want you to get the low quality stuff. So also, anything you buy from the Teespring shop, I make a commission. It helps me out. And plus you get a cool collectible. So give it a look over at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. All right. And then, guys, last but certainly not least, if you're here today live watching the stream on Twitch, and during the course of the stream, you'd like to get a shout out. And maybe for any reason, maybe you just want to lend your support. Maybe you want to cheer me on as I play Street Fighter. Maybe you want to ask me a question. You know, anything. If you either cheer with bits, if you subscribe to the channel, or if you tip me, if you do any of those things, I will give you a shout out during the stream. Now, keep in mind, this is a fighting game stream. I cannot, in the middle of a competitive match, immediately give you a shout out. However, between the rounds, between the matches, I'll do my best to give you appropriate shout outs, okay? And I am appreciative of anyone who does contribute. However, there are a few ground rules. Number one, please be concise. The less words you use, the more short-worded you are, the more brief you are, the higher chances you are that I'm going to read out your whole, cheer and also respond to it, all right? Some people come in with a paragraph, and I'm sorry, especially if I'm playing a fighting game, I'm not going to be reading, 47 sentences to read a crazy long message, all right? Just saying. Number two, please keep it positive. What I mean by that, guys, this is not the place to insult people. This is not the place to bring up controversial topics like politics and religion. It's also not a place to come in and say, hey, Phil, did you hear that this guy did this and said this to you or that and this? What do you think about this streamer and that guy? It's not time for drama. It's not. It's great that people look out for me sometimes and they want to let me know if someone's doing something nasty to me. This is not the place for it, all right? It's not. Just real talk. I don't need to know that some person did something nasty to me during a gameplay stream, all right? I just don't. So please refrain from those kind of, shout-out styles because I'm not going to acknowledge them. And it is ultimately at my discretion what I give you a shout-out for. So understand that some people may say something nasty. I'm not going to read it. There's no contract between you and me that I have to read everything, all right? Now, if you would like an animation, that's right, visual recognition to play during the stream as going along with your, your contributions, all right? There's another criteria that you got to hit. There's either 50-bit cheer, or if you subscribe to the channel and you wait a couple of minutes, there will be a share button that will appear if you click on that share button, or if you tip me $5 or more, all right? If you do any of those things during the course of the stream, you'll get an on-screen animation as a way to say thank you. So visual and verbal recognition for your contributions, all right? Now, in addition, if you look at the top of the screen here today, guys, since this is a multiplayer stream, we've got the stream stats running, all right? And I am going to update these soon because people have been cheering and tipping, and I think there might have been a sub during the pre-stream. So I need to update this. And what it basically is I'll have a running tally of number of subscribers. I'll also have a running tally of whoever is the top cheerer for the day, and also whoever is the top tipper for the day, all right? And I'll be updating this periodically between matches when I get a chance. It's a good way for you to get recognition, right? So it's a cool tool that I use when I usually have multiplayer style streams, or if I'm replaying a game, that I've beaten before. It's not a big deal to have that up there, right? If it's a retro playthrough or a redemption run, it's okay. It's only if I'm doing a first time playthrough of a game that I don't feel it's right to have that up there. So, one other thing, guys, subs. Let's talk about subscriptions. Right now, as you guys can see, we're only about 30 subscriptions away from hitting the monthly goal. Okay? And if we hit the monthly goal of 475 subscriptions at any point during the month of May, I will be doing a special new event that I want to do. Listen to this. Especially if you're a fan of Street Fighter, that's what you're here for today. You're going to want to hear about this. The Street Fighter Anniversary Master Run Challenge. What the hell is that? Well, for the first time ever, I'm going to do a challenge run on myself. What I'm going to do, if we hit the subscriber goal, is I'm going to hold a 7 to 8 hour long marathon one day, where on live stream, I'm going to attempt to beat the hardest level difficulty arcade modes of every major fighting game in the upcoming Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, starting with Street Fighter 2 and its 5 versions, then moving on to the Alpha series, and then finally to the third Street Fighter 3 series. That's 11 games. To do that within 8 hours will be a daunting task, but I'm going to attempt to do it, guys. We'll see how it goes. I'm very excited for this event. I want to do it. The AI in these games is incredibly difficult. It reads your inputs and actually does counter moves to blow through your move. It literally cheats on the highest difficulty, but there are ways you can exploit it. You can bait it into doing things, okay? So I'm hoping that we hit the goal so I can do this very special event. It's going to be rage-filled and salty, I'm sure. All right. But it's the first time I'm ever doing anything like this, and I think you guys, it's going to be right up your alley if you're a fan of fighting games, or if you're a fan of me failing and raging at stuff. It's going to satisfy both audiences, okay? So, this should be pretty exciting, guys, and I hope that you guys will sub to the channel to make this happen. Like I said, we're only around 30 subs away from hitting that goal. Keep in mind, if you subscribe to the channel, you get access to a bunch of stuff, including the emotes, including the Chat Crown badge, and of course, you won't have to watch advertisements when I run ad breaks during the streams. All right. Very nice. Before we get to shout-outs, last, I just want to remind everyone how to tip, because right now, guys, as I said, if you either cheer, sub, or tip, you'll get a shout-out during the stream. Right now, I could really use your help in regards to tips. Why? Because right now, it's early in May, and the first week of every month is the month when I basically have a financial crunch time. Like, all my bills come due, and I don't get paid from Curse and Twitch, the two payment methods that I get my YouTube and Twitch income from, until mid-month. So right now, I'm kind of really, really tight financially because I paid my federal taxes last month. So all my money's been drained. And I'm literally nervous that my bank account's going to get overdrawn in the next few days. All right? So if you tip me instead of the other methods of contribution right now, tips I get right now, and I can put them, like yesterday, for example, during my Bloodborne stream, there was a very amount of generous tips that came in. I immediately deposited it in my bank account. So those are now there to pay the bills. That's the thing. It's great that I have the system set up. So if you tip me today, you're helping me directly to pay my bills, all right? So please, if you have the option to choose, oh man, I'd like to cheer, sub, or tip. I wonder what helps fill the most right now. Tip me, okay? How do you tip me? There's two methods. Number one, if you look below the stream and you're watching live right now, you'll see a grid of information that's just been redesigned. I want to say shout out to viewer Fizzle, who redesigned all my channel panels for me. My channel page on Twitch looks much more spiffy now. There's a little section there that says tips. Or it either says tip cup or tips. You click on it, takes you to my tips page where you can either leave an anonymous tip or your name in a message if you want to get that shout out during the course of the stream. All right. Or if you don't see any of that, maybe you're on a mobile version of the site, which doesn't show any of that stuff. Then if you just type in !tip, all right, into the stream chat, it'll bring up a link in the stream chat, which you'll be able to click on and it'll take you directly to the tips page. All right. So, yeah, two different ways to do it. I'm very appreciative of any of you guys who tip me, and thank you guys very much for anything that you contribute, all right? All right, that being said, now it's time, guys, for shout-outs, which means we're going to be updating the leaderboard in just a moment here. Let me scroll all the way down. Actually, you know what? Oops, I got to refresh. Just in case there were any overnight contributions, I'm not sure if there were, but I know I'm going to refresh just in case to give those people credit. And indeed there was, so there you go. I'm glad I did it. Shout out to Dude Hand Vlee, who subscribed to the channel overnight. Thank you, Dude Hand Vlee, for the sub. I appreciate that. All right, so now, moving on to people who cheered, subbed, or tipped during the course of today's stream. We start out with DSP is really cool. He says, will you ever do another most racist moments montage or something similar like funniest moments montage? Well, racist moments, no. Simply because I really don't do that kind of humor anymore. You know, there was a time on YouTube, and by the way, bear with me, I got to turn on my air conditioner. It's now over 80 degrees in my office. Yeah, it's starting to get hot here in Washington, guys. Anyway, there was a time on YouTube when it wasn't a totally politically correct place. There was no such thing as a social justice warrior, okay? Every time that someone made a generalized joke about race, it didn't become a witch hunt against that person, you know? And humor was very different on YouTube. And so back in the day, there was 1 year ever where I actually did a top 10 most racist moments montage, and it was meant to be funny because all the jokes in it were lighthearted. They weren't, you know, serious, insulting shit. People loved the countdown, by the way. I thought it was one of the best things I had ever done at the time. But today, in today's audience, you watch it, oh my god, there was racism. This is so offensive and everything. This isn't funny. So no, you're never going to see that ever again. And the bottom line, like I said, is I usually don't make a lot of those kinds of references or jokes anymore. All right. But, however, there are tons of funny moments that happen in my streams every single day. Would I do a funniest moments countdown? Sure. The problem is, I stream literally, thousands of hours a year. If you think about it, right? Every day I'm streaming anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of gameplay plus pre-streams. So 8+ hours a day times 365 days. Okay, give or take, let's take out, I don't know, 1 day a week, so that's 50 days. So 300 times 8 is what? Over 2,000 hours a year. I really can't keep track of the funniest moments. It's really up to you guys to make note of what you think are the funniest moments. Now, typically, the way this would work, all right, is that I have a forums, thekingofhate.com. You go there, there's a forums, and people can post up a thread and say, oh, I'd like to nominate these 5 moments as some of the funniest so far this year, and they would post up a link to the video and explain the moment. That's how it's always been. Sadly, last year, for whatever reason, people stopped doing it. And so by the end of the year, we only had about maybe 10, 15 moments that had been nominated, and they were all from like the first 2 months of 2017, and I was like, well, I guess we can't do this event anymore. You know, I'm sorry, I just don't have the memory to go back through over 2,000 hours of footage and remember the funny moments. You know, maybe I would pull a few out of a hat, but certainly I'd be missing a ton. So that being said, you know, if you guys ever are interested in something like that, by all means, head over to the kingofhate.com forums, post up a thread in the section about me and my content, and start nominating. Say, hey, here's some really funny stuff that happened so far in 2018. Here's the link to the videos, and let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. And then maybe more people will jump on and nominate stuff, all right? But for me, I can't do it. You know, I'm here to stream. So there you go. Shout out to Sedella, who says, happy May the 4th, everyone. He cheered and said that. Thank you, Sedella, for the cheer. DSP is really cool, cheered again. He said you should do the Chalice Dungeons. I already said I was going to at least try them. DSP is really cool, cheered again. He said, people say you were over-leveled. Would you ever attempt Ludwig again on New Game Plus? Well, here's the thing. No, I wasn't over-leveled. The people that are saying that are sour grapes, all right? If you are insanely good at Bloodborne, and if you are a master of building a proper character, and you have a build in mind where you've worked one weapon for the whole game, yes, you could probably go into the Old Hunters DLC roughly around level 60, 65, and you could probably tackle the whole DLC, all right? However, in my case, I did try it. I listened to everyone, and I went in there at level 65. I couldn't even kill the normal enemies. The normal enemies were taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits to fucking kill a standard enemy that's supposed to be a peon that you could just, you know, beat easily. I was backstabbing enemies, visceral attacking them, alright? And I wasn't even able to continue on with what I was doing. Like, I was stuck. I was at a point where it was like, this is insane. This is absolutely ridiculous that people want me to do this at this point. Like, I can't beat it. It's insanely ridiculous. You know? Like, this just doesn't make any sense. How am I supposed to beat this when I can't damage the enemies? You know what I mean? Really dumb, in my opinion, that people think that the common player has to be a certain level to tackle the DLC. So what did I do? I did the DLC when logically you would do it. Because if you remember, the DLC was released way later in the year. It was meant to be kind of a nearly post-game thing that you would do. So I beat all the in-game content up to the end of the game, and then I tried the DLC. Lo and behold, it was still challenging. Don't get me wrong. It was still challenging, all right? And it was fun. But I was able to beat it reasonably because I could actually deal damage to the enemies because the enemies didn't kill me with one hit. You know what I mean? Like, it was so fucking stupid that people expected that I was going to be able to cruise through this DLC at a low level, you know? It just doesn't make sense. Again, if you're a master of Bloodborne, and you go in there with a perfect build, you've been building towards having this kind of build the whole game, and you have a good weapon for that build, sure, then maybe you can beat the DLC at level 60 or 65. Not a normal person. So, It's ridiculous that people say that kind of shit. It really is. But anyway, no, I was not over-leveled. And the other thing, oh, well, Phil went in at level 80, but then he kept using his Blood Echoes to level up during the DLC. That's not fair. What? That's the point of Blood Echoes. Like, it just blows my mind. Again, people have these crazy standards when it comes to From Software games. All right. You must do it in our incredibly difficult challenge run way, and you must hinder yourself in every way possible. The only way to properly beat the Old Hunters DLC is to be using a controller where only 2 buttons are functional while sitting and spinning on a fucking cactus. Okay, great. Great. That really sounds, you know, like something I would be interested in, alright? It's so stupid. It really is fucking just incredibly stupid. Sorry, I beat the Old Hunters DLC. Too bad. It's that simple. Alright, Level Up Gamer Cheer, he said, is it possible to put a cheer X amount if you want to do co-op? I don't want it to be, oh, you have to cheer to do co-op with me in Bloodborne or anything like that. I don't think that's right. Quite frankly, I don't think it should be based off of a monetary contribution or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, someone sent Phil a tip, and now Phil says you can join him. No, I'm never going to do something like that. That's not right. Maybe, you know, if I were to do co-op in Bloodborne, maybe if I found some regulars in the stream chat and they were like, hey, we're willing to join you, then maybe. But no, I would never have force someone to contribute via a certain means of any way. You know, whether it be goods, services, or money. I would never have them contribute and then, oh, now I could join you in Bloodborne. That's ridiculous. I would never do that. Okay. DSP is really cool, cheered, and said Bloodborne seems to be one of your most popular streams. Why would you want to make that last? Well, because I just... Oh, excuse me. I got a burp. Hold on. I believe he's talking about when I was discussing the schedule. Well, the reason for that is simply put, because I've just played the hell out of it. I beat the Old Hunters DLC, so why rush back to it? Let's do variety. Let's do Street Fighter today. Let's do God of War Sunday, so that way people are nice and refreshed, and they want to watch Bloodborne, they can watch it again on Monday, rather than Bloodborne, 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 and then people who don't care about Bloodborne are all pissed off. See, the thing is, I'm a variety streamer, alright, I am, and even though Bloodborne may cater to one group of viewers that I have, it doesn't necessarily become the big thing that I do, you know, all the time. Even though, yes, I enjoy Bloodborne, and yes, when From Software comes out with new games, I'll play them, and yes, eventually I'll probably do a redemption run for Dark Souls 3, and yes, I'll probably eventually play the final remastered version of the original Dark Souls. But I don't want to become the guy who plays From Software games, alright? I love doing a wide variety of games. And I don't want to become just the guy known for that. Because once you become a one-trick pony, sadly what happens is your appeal dies out very quickly. And one of the reasons why I've been around for 10 years, guys, and the reason why I'm still around, and the reason why I'll continue to be around, is because I have an appeal to a variety of people and a variety of tastes. I play all major releases. I play fighting games at a higher level. I play, you know, action games, RPGs. You know, strategy games, adventure games. You know, I play racing games. You know, not that I play racing all the time, but, you know, I am able to play a wide variety of games on the fly and entertain people, even if I'm not good at them. Most of the time, I can find a way to entertain people, and that's kind of my hook. That's been my hook for 10 years. If I just became the guy that plays From Software games, the guy that only plays fighting games, right? It would die quick. I would probably give it a year. I'd give it a year, and then the appeal would die out, in my opinion. You know, that's not what I'm known for, all right? So, there you go. Mike Lee cheered. He says, are you worried that obsessively playing Ultra Street Fighter 2, this is hilarious, obsessively playing it once a week is apparently obsessively playing it. Mike Lee every day says a ridiculous cheer like this every day, but let's entertain it. Here we go. Are you worried that obsessively playing Ultra Street Fighter 2 is going to mess you up for the proper versions of Street Fighter 2 in the collection? Not to mention playing Ultra Street Fighter 2 won't help much with games like Third Strike because the meta is so different in that game to play it at a high level. First of all, the basic gameplay of Ultra Street Fighter 2 is almost identical to Real Super Turbo, which is the game that will be in the collection. There's a few variations. Ken's uppercuts have been modified dramatically, all right? You cannot store supers like you can in the arcade version of Super Turbo. That's been removed. There's no old Sagat, who's one of the key fighters in Super Turbo. So there are big differences. Of course, the bosses, duh. Akuma, Evil Ryu, V-Ken, right? Those characters in particular, very, very, very different. Because they're not in real arcade Super Turbo, all right? So, that being said, yeah, there are differences. Absolutely, there's differences. But the core gameplay mechanics, like the footsies, timing of certain moves, what beats what in most situations, is the same. There are a few variations and differences, but for the most part, the basics are the same, and that's why I'm able to win so much at the game. Despite the fact that it is not arcade Super Turbo, which is what I grew up with, I'm still able to win because I adapt. And the thing is, that's exactly what happened when I went to EVO in 2005, and I got 4th place. And the top 3 players of Super Turbo that year were Japanese players. Why did I get so highly ranked? I'll tell you why. Because the version of Super Turbo they played that year was on the PlayStation 1. The fundamentals of the game were the same, but there were a lot of changes in balance of the characters, damage output, things. There were some things that were just very different in that version of the game. All right. I played and practiced on that version of the game, got good enough at it, and was the highest ranked American for that entire year in the game. Everyone else whined and complained that the version of the game was inferior. Some original players who had been known as top players from back in the day didn't even want to play it. I'm protesting this tournament. I'm not going to play this version. It's like, okay, so then you stay home while all of us go to the tournament and have fun. I mean, what else are you going to say? So yeah, basically, it's the same deal. I play the current version of the game. I adapt to it, right? And I learn, and I do well. Same thing when the current new edition, the arcade/anniversary edition comes out, I'll adapt. Now, as for Third Strike, you're right. I'm not getting any practice in Third Strike. There's really no way for me to get practice in Third Strike because there's no honest, actual version to play. The version that was on Xbox 360, PS3, no one plays it anymore. So there's no way for me to actually get practice in that version. So I just kind of shrug, and when the collection comes out, I'll start playing from the ground up, try to get more practice in, and I'm sure I'll be incredibly rusty. But in that game, I can play with a bunch of characters. Ryu and Ken, Urian. Although my Urian isn't tournament worthy, I still think he's fun to play with because I don't use the super setups everyone else does because I like to be a little bit more different. Hugo, I really like Hugo, and I'm pretty decent with Hugo in that game. And a couple others like I dabble a little bit with Oro. I dabble a little bit with Yoon. At one point, I knew Yoon's combo with the shadow combo, whatever the fuck it's called, Gene Jin. I knew his Gene Jin combo, and then I've since completely forgotten it. But yeah, I like the game. I will be playing with it, and I'm gonna have to learn on the fly, or at least get caught up on the fly. Let's put it that way. All right, DSP is really cool. Cheered. He says it sucks you don't get what you deserve. I got an anonymous $1 tip. He said, any chance for Silent Hill 2 a redo? Yes, possibly. Some people have been requesting Silent Hill 2 again. We'll see. I definitely want to do Dead Space 2 before I do Silent Hill 2 again. But let's see how things go. Because next week, let's say, for example, I wrap up both God of War and Bloodborne really quickly. Well, as I told you guys, I'm streaming all next week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 8 straight days of streaming. If I finish God of War and Bloodborne in the first 2 days, maybe there'll be time for both. Maybe there'll be time for me to do both Dead Space 2 and Silent Hill 2. I don't know. Let's see. Let's play it by ear. Random Ron Cheered, he says, could I trust Capcom with the 30th anniversary and pre-order? On the one hand, I'm an old Street Fighter fan. I want to have PlayStation 4 versions of these games. On the other hand, Capcom's track record with fighting games hasn't been good in recent years. I don't know what to tell you, Random Ron. I'm honestly in the same boat as you. As excited as I am, all right, for these versions of the game, I'm absolutely in agreement with you that Capcom is very hit or miss. Sometimes they'll release something that's amazing. Like I'll be honest, for when they released Third Strike, okay, for Xbox 360 and PS3. It was great. It had a ton of features and options, optional achievements and things to aspire to and build towards as you played the game. The online connectivity wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. Overall, it was passable. That was a really good port of a retro game. You're like, wow, this was really good. Then you look at Ultra Street Fighter 2, and it looks like they didn't put any effort into it whatsoever. Like, they didn't even realize that having Akuma or V-Ken in ranked matches is broken. I mean, that's just complete lack of knowledge about the game you're selling. How would you have someone releasing a game that they don't know anything about the game? You know what I mean? I don't know. It baffles me, but you're right. So, yeah, I don't know, Random Ron. I mean, I think we're all taking a gamble on this collection, right? We are. In essence, anyone who buys it at launch, we're all taking a big gamble. I'll be buying it on PS4. I'll see how it goes. At the least, I'll still be able to get some content out of it. Even if the online play is the worst ever, at least I'll be able to get some single-player content out of it. But obviously, the ideal here is we want really good, robust play out of it. We don't want a game we buy is broken and it's a piece of shit. So I guess we'll see what happens. But fair enough. The point you're making is a very fair point. Yusuke14K tipped me $10. Thank you, Yusuke. I'm going to put you up on the leaderboard because you are the top tip for today. Excuse me. So thank you very much for that. I don't got top cheer up there yet because I saw a bunch more people cheered. I think the current top cheer is 50 bits, but there's a couple people tied for that. So I'm going to keep going and see if anyone actually beat it. I don't know if anyone did yet. All right. Shout out to iLebo, who cheers at Phil. What made you want to become a streamer content creator? Honestly, I didn't want to become a streamer content creator. It all kind of just happened. What happened was, it was a unique part of my life where I had gotten a back injury, okay? So I couldn't do a lot of the physical stuff I used to. I used to play football. I used to go to Street Fighter tournaments, driving on the road a lot. Once my back injury kicked in 2007, I couldn't do that stuff anymore. So I wanted to get back into gaming. So I started getting heavily back into console gaming. You know, Xbox 360 and PS3. That was the time when I actually bought my PS3, started playing games that I missed out on, like Uncharted and stuff like that. And so during this period of time, YouTube was becoming prominent, all right? And I remember, you know, playing certain games like Lost Odyssey, and I'm stuck on a boss, right? I can't beat this boss in Lost Odyssey. I can't figure it out. How am I supposed to beat him? So I look at videos on the internet. There's no commentary. There's only text overlaid over the video to try to give you like a walkthrough kind of a deal of how to beat it. It was boring as shit. And I was like, man, you know, I'm a huge fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd. I'm a huge fan of the Nostalgia Critic. Can you imagine if someone who had like comedy style, who did funny commentary over a game while they were playing it live to give you a more entertainment factor plus showing you how to beat the game would be better than this? And so I just tried it out. And boom. It blew up. It became super popular because I did something that most people were not doing. Not to say other people weren't doing it, but they weren't doing it in the method I was. Raw, unedited, long form gameplay with commentary that's improv, funny stuff over it. People weren't doing that. So it blew up on YouTube and I became known one of the first people to do it. So there you go. And then, of course, later on, during the course of me doing it as a hobby, I took it more seriously. I got a camera that was better. And, then I realized, wow, maybe eventually you can make money doing this. Although I never really planned on it. It wasn't until I got laid off from my office job that I said, gee, I wonder if I find a way to monetize my videos, if I could actually make a living doing this. And the rest is history, So it never was something I worked towards. It wasn't like, oh, there's big YouTubers I'm aspiring to be like, and I'm going to work my butt off to become like that. It was nothing like that at all. At the time when I did it, you couldn't even monetize gameplay videos, It all just kind of fell into my lap and happened how it did. And now I am where I am. So there you go. Level Up Gamer cheered. He says, you're right, Phil. They expect you to play From Software games their way. That's not right. It's like expecting someone to play Pokemon games with Nuzlocke rules. It's ridiculous. Yep. And that's why I don't give a shit anymore. The bottom line is people enjoyed the run. They were here on stream. They were supportive. They liked seeing me go back to old hunters, regardless of the way that I did it. And, tough titties to those whose very, very strict criteria I did not adhere to. Oh, well. YOLO Dauber just cheered. He says, I got a Blue Apron meal kit from Costco. They're 30% off. Would love to see you do a DSP tries it on that. I am a newcomer to Costco. I just started being a member there about a month ago when my local Sam's Club went out of business. And although I like it now, you know, some products at Costco now that I'm starting to get, like their muffins are really good and cheap. I have not really, like, perused it thoroughly because my local Costco is incredibly busy because the Sam's Club here just closed down. So you've got double customer base going to one business. So no matter when I go, it's insanely busy. I have not seen Blue Apron meals. I've heard what they are. I guess it's a meal. You buy it, and basically it's all the ingredients and the instructions you need to make, like, a good quality meal at home. And then you make it yourself. But I didn't see them there. I'm not saying they don't have them. I'm just saying it's so busy. If they even had them there, I probably just walked right by and didn't even know what it was. The reason I don't do Blue Apron is because it's expensive. But like you're saying, it's 30% off, right? All right, fair enough. Maybe next time I go to Costco, I'll look for it. DSP is really cool. Cheer again. He said, do you think people keep bringing that up because they're jealous? I don't know what you're talking about. Sadly, I think you're addressing something directly. I will say this. If you are going to bring up a point like that in a cheer, please directly reference what you're talking about. Because, as you can see, I probably read this 5-10 minutes later, and now I have no idea what you mean. So, sorry about that. Atlas Telemon says, do you know the stun output data for various punches and kicks? Do you use that in play actively? Do I know the number data? No, I don't. Do I know that certain moves stun way more than others? Yes, I do. So, I'll say, oh, do this, you know, high chance of stun combo. But I can't think, well, that one had, 35 stun ranking, and then you add another 15 with the follow-up jab comboed into this, and then now you can stun. No, I don't know that. Back in the day, that shit didn't exist, remember? It was all arcade machines. It wasn't like you could sit at home on a console or a PC version of the game and experiment. You couldn't. You were in the arcade, so it was just like, well, seems like when I do this combo, it stuns them really effectively, right? So there you go. DSP is really cool. Cheered again. He said, sorry, it's so stressful. Keep up the good work. Then he cheered again. He said, it's 4 a.m. here. I stayed up just for you. Am I closer to being best boy? As I've told you, there is no best boy. I don't play favorites. And then DSP is really cool. Did a 51-bit cheer. He said, oh shit, stream leader. And in fact, he's right. 51 bits is the highest cheer for today. So I actually am going to put him as the top cheerer for today. There you go. Congrats. Wait a minute. Why is there still a question mark? That should not be there. Okay. So congratulations. You made it to the leaderboard. Alice Telemon cheered again. He said, have you ever seen an epic match between Valle and Bon Chan? Street Fighter 4 Sagat versus Hugo. Alex beat the crap out of Bon Chan. Nope. Nope. Never seen it. I've seen very, very little competitive level footage. Since I became a YouTuber, I basically lost all desire to watch gameplay videos. Like, I'm not lying. I literally lost all desire to watch any gameplay videos because I play games all day. So I'm burned out. I don't care about... it used to be I have an office job or I have a job that I hold down during the day, retail job or whatever. And then I come home and I relax by playing games and watching games. Now it's like I play games all day. When I'm not playing games, I want to do something else. So I do not watch those. I did not see that match. Alex Sholomon cheered. He said, people in chat are wondering if you ever played Alex Valle. Yes. Way back in the day, I played him in a King of Fighters game when I was in the 1990s. I visited California, and I knew about this arcade called Sunnyvale Golfland, and I wanted to go there because I heard the best players were there. And I went there, and I played Alex Valle in King of Fighters at the time. Of all games. That was like the hot new game that everyone was playing, so he was playing it. Then later on, when I got older and I got better at games, I became a more competitive player. I played him a few times. In 2005, I played him on Arcade ST and he beat me. And then later on in 2006, we played in a tournament for the very first time, Street Fighter 2 Arcade Edition, and he did beat me. But then in 2007, we played again in tournament in Super Turbo, and I beat him. So we're basically in tournament play. We're 1-1. He beat me. I beat him. So eventually, will we ever face again? Maybe. I don't know. Considering I don't go to tournaments and don't really care about them, probably not. But we're eternally tied 1-1 in tournament right now. And the last time I played him, I beat him. So there you go. Mike Lee asks, why don't I install Fightcade? I'm not going to do that. I've explained 5,000 times why I'm not, and I'm not doing it again. Randa Ron did a 52-bit cheer, and he said, screw you, I'm taking your top spot as top cheerer. So Randa Ron is now the top cheerer. He has knocked DSP is really cool down a peg. Damn. Damn. So there you go. Oops. Double parentheses. Not good. All right, Random Ron, thank you for the cheer. You're now top cheer for the day. And then DSP is really cool. Did a small cheer. Says, Random Ron's a troll. Ban him and revoke me as stream. Revoke you as stream leader. All right, you're revoked. You've been revoked. You're not stream leader anymore. Congratulations. Well, Yusuke 14K just did 100-bit cheers. Says, screw you both. I'm taking it. So Yusuke is now the cheerleader for today's stream. Let's get him up there. Very nice. So Yusuke, both the top cheerer and the top, and the top tipper for today. Dominating the leaderboards. All right, guys, so we're going to start with gameplay in just a moment. As I said, today will be a very interactive stream where you guys will be able to tell me the kind of character you want to see me pick each fight. Should be pretty fun. Oh, Random Ron just cheered again. He said, well, it was worth the shot. Haha. There you go. All right, before we begin, I do want to do a thank you to those who are the top cheerers for the week, just as we start here. King Swaggins is currently the top cheerer for the week overall. Thank you, King Swaggins. One Ton Hammer is in second place, right behind him, actually. Infinite is currently in third. Wait a minute. Atlas Telemon, hold on a second. Atlas Telemon just cheered 1,000 bits and said, nope, Street Fighter is mine. So Atlas Telemon is currently the top cheerer, which just changes the rankings for the week as well, so I might as well just stop in my tracks here. There we go. All right, so there we go, folks. Thank you. And, wow, thank you, Atlas Telemon, for the nice big cheer. You're the cheerleader. It looks like DSP is really cool cheered again. So my cheer is still big. Please don't make fun of its size. Wow. All right, let's try this again. The top cheerers for the week. Number 1, King Swaggins. Number 2, One Ton Hammer. Number 3, Infinite 55. Number 4, In Sit You. Number 5, Mick G-Man. Number 6, Yusuke 14K. Number 7, DSP is really cool. So you're actually up there. DSP is really cool in the top 10. Number 8, Woomy Girl. Number 9, Atlas Telemon. And coming in, number 10, by 4 bits, Kulu Yaku. So thank you, everyone, this week for your support. I appreciate it tremendously. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, thank you. And I think it is now time to begin with Ultra Street Fighter 2. What do you guys think? You guys think it's time to start? I think it's time to start. All right. All right, let's do this. I got distracted, sorry.